Oh, fuck, it's recording. Oh, it's a little tube.
Oh, we're live on the tubes, aren't we?
Oh, tube.
Jesus Christ, we'll give me that in there. All right, well, let's fucking kick it off. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you already know who it is.
Oh, it's recording. The goddamn echo.
Oh, shit, sorry, the echo. Fucking A.
You
You already know who it is, like I said, like 7 times. It's James, it's Zach. Welcome back to the BOTA Show. James, how the fuck are you?
I am so good. I'm ready to treat all of our audio listeners with some fucking eardrums bleeding down their cheeks
Yeah.
onto their clothes, ruining them. OxyClean.
Yeah, if you haven't already noticed, one of us is named ADHD, the other one is also ADHD. So this is going to be a great episode for you guys.
There can only be one James P. Who's
Yeah.
the real
I
James
don't
P.
know. I thought I renamed myself ADHD, but apparently that's not the case because your name is ADHD and now I'm James P. So I don't fucking know. Who knows? All right. Well, we got a very interesting show for you guys. It's just me and James. So
Ooh.
you guys already know how it's gonna go.
Dig in.
Let's try to have some segments here. Let's start off nice and crispy. Nice
No
and
promises.
crispy boy. We got the BOTA news.
I found this Apple Watch.
It's not on. All right.
No.
Well, let's get to the NFL. I think the biggest news in the NFL, at least for this week, is J.J. Watt being released from the Texans. Fucking thank God. That man deserves way more than that organization was giving him.
Yeah, I said this in our chat too. Sorry to cut you off and expand on that. But
It's me, buddy. It's me and you. If you don't cut me off, then I keep talking, and then we get into a real can of worms I don't want to open.
kind of do. Words are fucking tough. You really realize with this decision how much of the NFL comes down to it being a business because of what J.J. Watt has done for Houston, what he's done for the team itself. He's been a fucking spine for them for years. And now, a couple injury-ridden seasons. I think it was a good move for him to move on. I don't understand how they don't try to get capital out of him, but hey, fuck it.
It's the Texans. They traded Whomst again and got nothing for him.
Nuke.
Yeah, they traded the best wide receiver in the NFL, arguably, to the Cardinals, and they got a McGriddle. I don't even know.
They got fucking Brandon Cooks.
They got McDicked is what they got. All right. They didn't get Brandon Cooks from them. They just signed him, didn't they? Or they trade?
I think so. I don't remember. I think they traded for. I don't remember.
Doesn't even matter.
They got David Johnson though. That was awful. Ooh, he's gonna have a fantasy comeback. Suck that dick.
I didn't really say he was gonna have a fantasy comeback. I just thought he was gonna run for 100 on
No, that wasn't you, Zach.
Oh,
no naming names.
Chris. That was my first guess because Drew doesn't make mistakes like that. Anyways, let's talk about some potential landing spots for Mr. J.J. Watt. I think it's pretty obvious the kind of teams he wants to go to, and that's ones that could potentially win a championship. That's what he wants, and that's what every kind of veteran player wants. If they still have a little gas in the tank, they go to a team that can win a championship now.
Right.
I think we've seen a lot of team names being thrown around. I think one that makes the most sense, at least for him, would be the Steelers.
Yeah, full wattage, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think that would be a good move for him, but
No.
I mean, I don't think JJ Watt would make a difference on that team. You know what I mean? That defense is already solid enough. Oh, yes, thank you, James. Wow, I forgot about that.
I just realized when you said the Steelers.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That defense doesn't need a JJ Watt.
No.
You know what I mean? They don't need JJ Watt. Like, I'm thinking, he needs to go to a team that needs him, that needs a player like him in order to move a defensive unit up to the next level. And so my most logical landing spots, James, and this is going to be a huge BOTA fucking catastrophe for either of you if it happens, but I got the Browns and I got the Packers, man.
Uh-huh.
I think we see Olivier Vernon leave because of obviously that off the injury week 17 or whatever. And JJ Watt and Myles Garrett on the same line.
Oh my God, the JJ Watt
First of all, Browns
gets me rock hard.
Yeah, you guys are, no pun intended, but full chub.
Yeah, chub, Kareem.
And on the flip side of that, for the Packers, I mean, you're getting a former defensive MVP and
multiple times.
Well, yeah, but you win it once, you're still a former. Win it 3 times, still a former.
What about 4? Are you a former?
Then you're playing with yourself, James. Shake it once, that's fine. Shake it twice, that's okay. Shake it 3 times, you're playing with yourself.
Playing with yourself, yeah.
I
got the joke, Zach.
All right, thanks. No one else did. That's fine. I don't know. I think he would be a good fit for the Packers, obviously with his Wisconsin kind of connection there. But the Packers defense could use a player like JJ Watt to really elevate that team. I mean, look at what happened in the NFC Championship. And I'll say it was more or less Kevin King. But you have a player like JJ Watt that can actually get to Brady. I mean, forget about that pass rush. I mean, he's just a notorious on the line disruptor. And I just remember when the Patriots
I don't know, I just hurt. My body hurt.
Oh,
I don't know what just happened.
That was bizarre. Well, when the Patriots are playing the Texans, when I think that this must have been, it was one of the years that he won Defensive Player of the Year. They would have some of the coaches hold brooms up on the line and try and maneuver the ball around. Basically, it was JJ Watt. They were trying to simulate JJ Watt and how disruptive he is on the line, even while he's engaged in a block in the passing game. And I think that's huge for a team that, if they're having trouble getting to a quarterback, you have a player like that can disrupt even from the line, and that's huge. And I think that would have been a huge boost to a Packers team. I think, not many teams are one player off, but I could totally see if you add JJ Watt and he's got a little, left in the tank onto that Packers team. I think they make it past the Bucks that game. I could see it.
I mean, that's tough to say, man.
It is. It's tough to say. It's tough to say, but come on. You don't want to ignite a little fire under Drew's ass? Come on.
I always want to light a fire. I always want to be around Drew's ass, but that's not the point. The point is, there was very clearly issues with veteran secondary. And, I mean, the pressure would have made a difference, but you can't say that would have been the pivotal point.
No, I think it would have helped them a lot more because Brady had a lot of time in the pocket. But besides the point, those are some of the spots that he could end up. I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen. But in other Texans news, they're not open to trading Deshaun Watson at all. Hashtag free fucking Deshaun, because that man deserves
free Deshaun.
Hashtag free Deshaun. We need to get him out of here. We need to start our own Reddit account and drain all of the savings from the Texans organization, just like Wall Street did to those hedge funds. And we need to get our mans out.
I don't really get the connection of where the hedge funds come in, but I would like draining accounts. I'm into it.
All right, fair enough. I don't know if I'm sure everyone saw this. Tom Brady had a a lovely day celebrating his newest Super Bowl win with his avocado tequila fucking meme thing going on. He was hammered.
He's not funny.
What?
He's not funny.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if he's funny or not. He was drunk as fuck, so.
Yeah.
The fact that he threw a Lombardi trophy like, a 5-yard check down was crazy. Crazy.
Are you really shocked about that, though? I mean, fucking Gronk hit it with a baseball.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, if you think about it like this, the man's got 7 of them. It's like, he's got a replacement one for his replacement one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm sure most of the guys were like, you're throwing the only trophy we've ever seen in our entire lives. And he's like, yeah, I got like 6 more at home. Like, what do you want? It's fucking ridiculous.
Okay, you want one? I'll sauce you one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. 5-yard check down, Lombardi trophies for every player on the Bucs, basically is what's happening. Chris Hogan, moving on from the NFL.
Yeah.
Ross, I don't know if you saw this, but
Lax bro.
Yes, he is a former Lax bro, turned NFL wide receiver, turning Lax bro.
Could I say that this is a great move for him? By the way,
I like it. I'm low key excited to like actually watch the one highlight of Chris Hogan and then him retiring. Yeah, it'll come up. We'll find it somewhere. Yeah, he's slated to play with the Premier Lacrosse League for all of 2021.
Wow, entry draft.
I know, dude.
Dude, good for him. I mean, he loved lacrosse. That was his first sport. He was all whatever the equivalent of all pro is for college lacrosse at Penn State. And he made the transition to the NFL, had success, and now he is able to be like, fuck it, I don't need money. I'm going to be a Premier League lacrosse player. Be making below minimum wage.
I feel like you pay to play. I feel like it's a pay to play kind of sport.
It's just a club that's televised.
The Boston. What was it? What's the Boston club team?
Cannons, baby.
Yeah, the Boston Cannons. Was that a cannon sound?
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to some NFL draft news. Trevor Lawrence showed everyone why he is the bona fide number 1 prospect by throwing a ball pretty much fucking 85 yards, on his pro day. No big deal. Yeah. That was a cannon. Speaking of fucking cannons, that was a cannon.
It was a cannon. It was accurate, but it doesn't really show anything on his pro day. Like, it's cool.
No, it just shows his arm strength. I mean, yeah, it's great, but he scrambled like 20 yards and then threw a fucking bomb. I mean,
what exactly is his pro day doing besides just reaffirming and giving people fucking footage, right?
I don't know, but he just looks like a 12-year-old fucking Swedish girl. I don't. What?
That's a big ass girl. That's a huge.
Yeah, no shit. It's a big ass girl. He's got the facial complexion of a Swedish girl, dude. I don't know.
Of a girl dude. Like now we're getting to a whole nother territory if we're talking about girl dudes.
Girl dudes. Girl, shut the fuck up.
You're dancing a real fine piece of
wine. I don't think anyone is expecting anything but Trevor Lawrence going to the Jaguars, and the fact that they're hyping this up is like, I don't know, it's a little ridiculous because we know where he's going. I think it maybe is hyping him up for his NFL debut. I don't know. I don't know why you're giving me that look. You sucked your finger and then gave me a weird
I thought there was tomato sauce on my finger. Turns out it was blood.
Yeah, because yeah. All right. Well, Marquise and the other Pouncey brother retired. So there's that.
And Mike.
Is it Mike Pouncey? Mike Pouncey's play for the Dolphins, right?
Chargers and
I know he definitely played for the Dolphins at some point, but obviously Marquise Pouncey played for the Steelers. They both decided they were what?
Lifer. He was a lifer.
Steelers life, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not surprised that at least Marquise retired because wasn't that Marquise Pouncey that sat down with Ben at the end of that game? Yeah, you could tell he was done.
Yeah. You know who should be done?
What?
You know who should have been done with him?
Exactly. Yeah, of course. We'll talk about that. Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're looking at it, they've had long careers. They've both been Pro Bowlers and they've both been excellent. So, I mean, just James. Oh, okay. All right. Well, James, because you have so politely said that you want me to fuck myself, I'll give you the NBA. So go ahead.
No, I mean you could have taken the NBA. I was just writing. We're doing a live, baby.
But
Man, the Celtics are just fucking hit or miss every night. They lose to the Pistons, who had 6 wins at the time, and then they beat like I think they won against the Raptors. Like it
Celtics
just
to the Pistons.
no, the Celtics. I'd have to look at the actual. I don't know.
Well, the thing I saw on the Pistons is that they've beaten all of the top 6 teams in each conference.
Cool. So people are playing down to the Pistons, I guess.
I don't know. I guess they're 6-18 or something like that, so they're not good. So I don't fucking know what they're doing.
No, I got to give this credit. This was actually a blog I read today from somebody we follow. They follow us, Simple Mind Sports. They brought up a good point, and Danny Ainge is not building a team. He's acquiring players without building a roster. He has the talent. He's putting talented players out there, but for some reason they just can't put it all together.
They really can't. There's no
blows my mind.
I feel like once they start getting chemistry going, it's the end of the season. They lose in like the second or the second round, or the Eastern Conference Championship, and then they trade away players and get new players every year. I mean, we haven't had a set roster in the last 5 years.
No, it's been a revolving door.
I mean, whether it was injuries in the playoffs, or I mean just the whole Kyrie bullshit, and now we get Kemba, and Gordon Hayward doesn't play up to his potential, so they let him go, and now Kemba's hurt, and Jalen was hurt, and Jason Tatum is playing like an MVP, but then they regress, and it's a shit show.
Well, then like Jason Tatum goes down and Jaylen Brown goes up, and now Kemba might be out. It's just
right.
It's all over the fucking board, man.
There's no by the time the dust settles, it's going to be 2025. Danny Ainge is going to be fired, and Jason Tatum's out of his prime.
Yeah, sadly, that's what we have to live with as Celtics fans.
Yeah.
All right. Next note I have. Oh, apparently I'm writing up here now.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose. I don't know what happened.
Rose trade bull. Yeah.
Derrick Rose was traded to the Knicks for fucking nothing, and I love that move by them. I mean, it was a move that they would have wanted when he was still in Chicago and still healthy. But this new age revitalized Derrick Rose is a good veteran piece to add to their team. So good job, Knicks. You did one thing right.
Yeah. It's the Knicks. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that, but
yeah, I mean, nothing else you can really say about it.
It's the New York Knicks, man.
Donovan Mitchell and the fucking Utah Jazz are on a Shaq revenge tour right now. They don't give a fuck. After that moment where Shaq said, like, I forget what it was, but he's like, you're not a star, you're not a one or whatever. He was like, all right, bet. And he's like, I'll show you. And then they've just gone on a tear. They are leading the NBA with a 21-5 record. They have just been demolishing.
I can say without a doubt Shaq did that on purpose. I mean, Shaq may seem stupid, but he's really not. Like
Shaq's a smart guy.
He said before he said anything else to Donovan Mitchell, he's like, you're like, I like you. You're a good player. Like, but I haven't seen you take that next step. And I obviously think if Donovan Mitchell didn't respect Shaq, he wouldn't care what he said. So obviously he took Shaq's words to heart and was like, all right, Shaq, I'll prove to you that I'm a player that you can respect.
Yeah.
He's proven it.
What? He's done it.
He's been downright filthy.
Sometimes if I get sad, I'll look up pictures of Shaq holding cans because it makes me happy. My Jamesism of the day.
That's downright terrifying.
It's funny because
you want to know what? All right,
like
fine.
this.
I'll raise you. Whenever I'm sad, I look up pictures of Shaq at raves, and then I don't feel so bad.
Shaq at raves is a new.
Shaq at raves.
God, I love it.
So let's break it down here because Shaq's always got the fit at raves. It's a wife beater like tank top, jean shorts, and he wears sandals always. That's the bona fide Shaq. Like that's like his Izu look. Like let me tell you, it's fucking electric forest Shaq.
It's so fucking awesome.
You take icy hot Shaq. I raise you electric forest.
Who wins in a fight? Shazam, Icy Hot Shaq, or Izu Shaq?
Oh my god!
10 times out of 10,
I would love to see a movie of just all of Shaq's like personas.
Oh my god! But Shaq has to play them all.
Yeah, dude, the chicken wing Shaq.
What chicken wing shack? What?
When he was on Hot Ones, it's the fucking.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'll still take Izu shack. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in. Michael Jordan now owns a NASCAR team. I didn't know this. They have that
I
in the
didn't know this
note.
either, but apparently it was in the NBA news because I wrote it down. So they got nothing else going on. So apparently Michael Jordan NASCAR news is.
I guess it makes sense with North Carolina, but he'll be running Bubba Wallace, I guess, as his debut racer.
It said, I hope it's Bubba Wallace. It said Wallace. So I really hope it's Bubba.
I don't know. We'll find out eventually. Let's see if we're wrong. The MVP and I'm out. The MVP race is just heating up. Right now, it's really looking like a split. LeBron's always going to be in the conversation. That's just the era we live in. That's why he is the best player of this generation. Joel Embiid has been on a tear. He's been like actually taking really like it seems like a newer Joel Embiid. He's kind of like picking his shots better. He's playing like around the team more. It doesn't seem like he's trying to just take shoulder of it.
Yeah, he's playing a better team game. And I think the Sixers are figuring out what they can and can't do, and they're hammering home what they can do. Embiid is like, I think he's averaging like 29.5 points a game. I mean, and most of those points are coming from the paint. So
that's fucking great. I mean, I'll take that as
I would too. I mean, if you can get those easy points, I mean, you're gonna win a lot of games, which they are. So
they are. They're doing it. I think they were or still are first.
They are. They're still. Yeah, they're 18-8, I think. So they're still in first place of the East. The Eastern Conference is not good. I mean, the Celtics are 13-12, and they're sitting at the 4th seed. So that's not a very good conference. It's a very like. I mean, like on one hand, you could say like, oh, well, it's a very competitive conference because, not everyone's running away, but no, it's just not good. Like they're just not, there's no team that I can say is, wow, this is a really good team. The only 2 teams in the East that I think are even going to have a chance at beating either the Lakers, because most likely it's going to be the Lakers at the end of the year, the Nets or this 76ers team. But I really think it's going to be Nets Lakers. I mean, that's just how it works. So it's a superstar driven sport. So I don't know. All right, James, you want me to move on to NHL?
Well, let's mention before we go that Nikola Jokic is also in the
conference. Oh, yeah, he's Nikola. Is that Nikola Jokic? I can't say his name. I cannot for the life of me. NBA is not my sport. Basketball is not my sport. Whatever. But I mean, he's been impressive for the Nuggets. I haven't really seen much of Jamal Murray ever since he punched what's his face in the nuts. So I mean, he's either been on suspension or he's just not been. Oh God. But I mean, the Nuggets have slowly been rising through the Western Conference ranks. I mean, they're sitting. I think they're sitting at the 7th seed. They're just at or above 500, but I know they were doing terrible at the beginning of the year. Obviously, a reason that they've been doing so much better is from Nikola Jokic. So, I mean, what's that?
Nikola
Jokic. Jokic. Sure. All right, James. Why don't we let me toss you the rock there, buddy, and you can talk about the college sports.
All right, Zach. I have been very open about this, that I have just gotten into college basketball before March. Wow.
You have.
Zach, let me ask you, when you muted your mic, Zach.
Yeah, no, that's because Dom's walking in. I don't want her to feel bad, but keep talking. I'll talk to you.
All right, Zach, when I say college basketball, Zach, what are the names you think of? Duke.
North
Carolina.
No, obviously Duke,
Kentucky,
UNC, come on. Duke,
Kansas.
UNC, Kentucky, Kansas.
So see, I thought I knew college basketball. Guess what? Duke might not make the tournament. UNC might not make the tournament. I think it's been eliminated.
It's different. Well, think about it like this. I followed college basketball for a little bit, and I know that Gonzaga is a really good school.
Yeah, go Zags. James Morrison. I don't know who plays there anymore.
I really have no idea. I don't follow college sports enough to have a stake in any of them. But I mean, with March Madness, it's just I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. But I know like some of the moments are really cool and they're exciting, but like all together, like most of them are just kind of whatever. But yeah, I mean, I would say if I think college basketball, I think Duke UNC. I mean, that's the rivalry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but guess what? They're both
Dog shit.
potentially out of the tournament and kind of dog shit. I watched the matchup. It was bad. It was just straight up bad basketball. It was bad sports. It wasn't fun.
I think that you know a lot of potential recruits are realizing like you don't have to go to Duke or UNC like to be a good basketball player. Like there's other schools, other programs that have obviously caught up and surpassed them. I mean, obviously Gonzaga's one, Villanova. No, sorry, Villanova. I'm thinking of Alejandro Villanueva. I don't know why. More fucking Steelers line talk, but yeah, I know Villanova's good, Gonzaga's good. There's a couple other ones I'm sure if I looked at the thing, I'd be like, oh yeah, I knew they were good. But
I could give you a list, but yeah, that's the point is I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I'm enjoying it.
it's a shift. It happens, you know, every 10, 15 years, and there's just a power shift, and it happens in every sport. I mean, we're seeing it with the NFL. It was the Patriots. Now it's transferring over to the Chiefs in the AFC. The NFC is still up for grabs, but you know, hockey is kind of in limbo right now. There's no one team that's really kind of that has control over anything. Same thing with basketball. I mean, it was the Heat at one point in the early 2010s, and then the Cavs and the Warriors, and now it's the Lakers. I mean, it everything changes so much, but it's weird to have one or two teams that constantly are top tier like product for that long, and then once it stops, it's like, well, what happened? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. All right, Zach, hockey. Let's do it.
All right. Well, this must have had. Well, first of all, this must have happened maybe 3 hours ago because I didn't see the thing come up on my phone. But Alex Galchenyuk and Cedric Paquette were actually just traded to the Carolina Hurricanes for Ryan Dzingel. Talk about making me want to throw up because Alex Galchenyuk and Cedric Paquette are not worth Ryan Dzingel. I don't understand. Ryan Dzingel, less than, and not greater and not equal to Alex Galchenyuk and Cedric Paquette. Carolina's back 6-4 group just got a whole lot better, a whole lot deeper, especially in a division where they're gonna be playing they are playing the defending Stanley Cup champions. I mean, that is just the facts of life. It's not per se, it's not an easy division, but to be that Hurricane, that Carolina team, getting those two players with, all the potential, obviously Cedric Paquette having won a Stanley Cup with the Hurricane, Jesus Christ, with the Lightning. I'm sorry. No, he didn't win a Stanley Cup. He was in the Stanley Cup finals with them in 2015 though. But he's a playoff veteran. He's been there. And Alex Galchenyuk was a third overall pick and has that scoring potential, but hasn't lived up to it ever since his time in Montreal. But Ryan Dzingel, why? What do you get? What the fuck? Is this a laughing sticker?
A laughing emoji. I found it.
What do you get? Like, if you're the Senators, what are you doing? Like, it's just asinine. I mean, obviously, it's not something that a normal, like, just kind of run-of-the-mill hockey fans can understand. But, like, just looking at the assets, it's just not a good trade. But it's the Ottawa Senators. So you expect anything more from a team that hasn't won a Stanley Cup ever? No. So, good luck to Ryan Dzingel in Ottawa. Bruins have started off the season way stronger than I thought. I know I said I was a little worried for them. The Mass Mutual East Division is definitely the division of death for the NHL this year, especially after realignment. But they're playing some lights out hockey. They got a 10-1-2 record. They currently own the third best goals against in the league, as well as the third best point differential in the league. So they're not letting up a lot of goals, and they're scoring enough to keep it interesting. So I mean, they've only lost one game in regulation. It was 1-0 game against the Islanders. Every other game has either gone to overtime or they've won. So they're killing it right now. They play a game tonight, I believe. I think they're playing the Islanders tonight. So that'll be an interesting game for them because obviously their only regulation loss came to the Islanders. So we'll see how that goes. But they played a really good game against the Rangers last night. Very physical in the second period. And the only goal, it was a 1-0 game. So the only goal that mattered was, I think it was, was it Craig Smith that scored last night? I forget. But their third line's producing. See, my problem with the Bruins is that when they make it to the playoffs, every other line disappears except for the first line. And then once the first line gets, stops scoring, that's it. There's no extra help. But I think they're building some chemistry, some really good chemistry with this third and fourth line. And if they can continue scoring, almost like they did in that Stanley Cup finals run, then we might have something here. But in other, I guess technically Bruins news, but Willie O'Ree's jersey retirement is going to be postponed until next year, obviously for COVID reasons. I know Willie wanted it to be in front of the fans that he played for, or obviously not played for, but in front of the fans that he loves so much. And that takes us to our weekly division update. So we got the Scotia North. Toronto Maple Leafs are leading the division. I think they have 23 points. The Mass Mutual East, I just said, the Boston Bruins. They're sporting a 10-1-2 record with 22 points. I don't know if this game is over yet. The Honda West, the St. Louis Blues were in first place. However, the Golden Knights are playing right now, and they were up 3-1 on the Sharks. So if they win that game, they leapfrog the Blues for first place in the division. And then the Discover Central division, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they're 7-1-1 there. I mean, they're playing lights out hockey too, but not a very strong division. So I'm not giving them a whole lot of credit. Not going to lie.
Vegas won 3-1. So they are now.
So Vegas is officially now the leaders in the West. So the Honda West division. So that was our division leader update for the week. The NHL is set to take.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Are you kind of eliminating the North and the West from contention then when it comes to Stanley Cup time? Like, are you really only focusing on the East?
No, so I can't say that because we've looked at in other sports, we said, oh, well, the AFC East is such an easy division to win, and the Patriots win 6, and then they win the Super Bowl every other year. So you can't really base it off of that. This is a little different only because they're only playing teams in their division. So when they make it through the playoffs, they're really playing these teams for the first time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be tough to look at as far as that goes. I don't really know how this is gonna work. Well, let's not forget, this is the first year where we could potentially have, a Bruins Canadian Stanley Cup final in a long time. Bruins Maple Leafs. We could get, God forbid, Sharks and fucking Knights no, actually we can't do Sharks and Knights, but it could be, like the Lightning and the Bruins, maybe. I don't know. Because we don't know how they're physically going to reseed and structure the playoffs because it hasn't been said. Obviously, we know that there will be, I think it's 4 teams from each division, 16 teams, that's your playoffs. But we don't know how they're going to seed them. We don't know what's going to happen, if they're going to do the conferences like they do. And that's the thing, is that all these divisions are mixed. So are you going to hand out, the Prince of Wales trophy to what really should be a Western Conference team, or vice versa? Like, you're going to hand the Campbell trophy out to, say, the Bruins if they have to end up playing in the Western bracket. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. And also, come playoff time, is everything gonna be all set? Because the Canadian teams just can't play themselves.
Right.
Come playoff time, the borders have to be open. the teams have to be willing to play, or what they'll do is they'll set up a bubble, have everyone have a 2-week break so everyone can quarantine, and then they'll make it there. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Gary Bettman hasn't said anything. But we're going to get to the state of the NHL a little later in another segment. But something I am excited for, at least the NHL is doing right, we're doing those Lake Tahoe games, Bruins and Flyers and Avalanche and Golden Knights outdoor games. There's just something about an outdoor hockey game, man. I don't know what it is, but most of them have been really good. I mean, the couple Bruins ones that I've watched, obviously the Montreal one, they lost like 6-1, was terrible. The Blackhawks one was good. And obviously the one they played against the Flyers was an OT, and that was a really good game too. So I'm really excited to watch them, play basically a rematch of the Winter Classic game against the Flyers. And we'll see what this Avalanche Golden Knights game brings, because I don't know what to expect out of the Avalanche this year. Although the only thing to look forward to is, I guess, the scoring power on each team, because both of these teams can fucking light the lamp. So, God. All right, well, let's get to one of the biggest disappointments in the NHL right now, and that is Braden Holtby. Probably the biggest free agent signing this offseason, especially for a goalie. My man is straight up being outplayed by Thatcher Demko.
I don't know who that is, but he has a dope name.
Yeah, I mean, he played pretty well for Vancouver last year in the playoffs, like came out of nowhere and stole the series from the Blues. But neither of them are doing good. They both have a sub 900 save percentage. Basically, every 8.5 shots that get taken, 1.5 goals going. But Dave the Cat.
You said Dave percentage, so I went Dave the Cat. That's your.
Did I say Dave percentage? Save percentage. That's what I meant. And both of them have like a goals against average of like 3.5. So I mean, neither of them are playing well. Vancouver's not playing well. They're 6-11. So, for a team that took down the reigning Stanley Cup champions last year in the playoffs and could have potentially made a run, they took a hard fall. I mean, a la 49ers. I don't even know. You tell me. Let's move on to baseball.
Me.
James, break it to our Red Sox fans, please.
All right, Sox fans. Here's a fan favorite. It's time to admit it. He's gone. He didn't do well. We sold low. Andrew Benintendi is now a Royal from a 3-way trade with the Mets. Bye-bye, Benny Buttcheeks. Bye-bye, Benny Biceps. Bye-bye, Benny. Men who are single, you can now go out in Boston again and not have to worry about getting your woman stolen by Andrew Benintendi.
Fair. Or mothers, because I know for one thing, the moms loved Benny Buttcheeks.
Moms did love Benny Buttcheeks.
Yeah, they did. This is true. And apparently his girlfriend is a blank.
Dom, this is a fucking family show, all right?
Dom, we don't use that kind of fucking language on our show, all right?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? You should never, ever. That's just rude. We're
Heathen.
professionals. We have standards.
We are the opposite of professional.
Yeah, complete opposite.
This is basically an intramural league if it was a podcast.
Yeah, no, it's a club team for podcasts. Yeah. Serie W. That's what we are. You've heard of Serie A soccer. Welcome to Serie Q.
We're gonna make it all the way down. Anyway, other big trades and or signings that have happened in the lead. Adam Duvall ends up with the Marlins. Jake McGee goes to the Giants. The Cards end up re-signing Yadier Molina, which I'm genuinely shocked about. I thought they were going to move on.
40,000 years old now?
Something around there. BC.
Listen, if you're big enough, you can stop a ball, right?
Yeah. Elvis Andrus, I always fuck up his name, on the Rangers, was traded to the Athletics for Chris Davis. I love that deal.
Chris with a K.
Chris with a K Davis. The other Chris is in Baltimore. Sorry, Chris Davis. Braves land Ozuna for 4 years, and the biggest one out of them all, Trevor Bauer's The Dodgers adding Trevor Bauer to their already dominant starting pitching.
Yeah, that's an OPS fucking move. I mean, that
Oh.
division alone has 10 of at least 9 or 10 of the best starting pitchers in the league. The Padres and the Dodgers, that's gonna be a hell of a little battle between them in the pitching department.
It's gonna be a fun series.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Fun few series, obviously, but yeah, that's really all the baseball we got.
Yeah, and that's basically all the news I have. James, you got any college football news for me? Any draft news?
Nothing. Fuck Sage Surratt. Look at our shit. Everyone else does Sage, you asshole. I hate you. You're no longer going to be good. Good luck in the NFL. Hope you do well.
For all those who were not with us in our group chat, because none of you are, James is really blue check. He's a blue check whore.
I'm addicted to blue check.
It's a blue check whore.
I will tag.
Which brings me to my new segment. Dom, you ready for the intervention, right? Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Intervention.
Intervention. No, I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you. No, James is a blue check whore.
I fucking.
We'll move on to let's move on to our next segment. I just have I have a little statement I would like to say here. So for the NHL, the news came out that they had to borrow $1 billion from an unnamed investor, in order to stay afloat.
Was it Dr. Evil?
I don't know who it was, but they haven't said anything about it. But Gary Bettman has come out and said that he's distributing the money to each team, so that way nothing happens. James, is it panic button time?
It's definitely time to tease the panic button.
Tease it. Come on.
I'm gonna say with the fan, like with stadiums opening up to fans again, it's not the worst thing in the world, but man, it's not a good sign.
I'm gonna hit the panic button. I'm hitting the panic button. This is me hitting the panic button, and I'm an NHL fan. All right. So you have to look at the market for hockey. And honestly, the only way hockey makes that kind of money is by filling the seats. They don't have the TV deals like football or basketball do. You know, it's all about filling the seats. It's all about the merch. It's all about that kind of stuff. If they're not getting the merchandise sales, they're not getting people in, they're not getting the merchandise sales, they're not getting food and drink, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's crazy to think that a $15 beer is, keeping the Bruins afloat. But seriously, a $15 beer is actually keeping the Bruins afloat because it's the same thing all around the league, all 31 teams, especially where they're adding a 32nd team this coming off season in the middle of a pandemic where the league just had to borrow $1 billion. Now, I'm only hitting the panic button because I'm worried about what is going to happen with fan engagement and ticket prices and stuff like that. Because if I expect what's going to happen is everything's going to go up by like 50 to 60% in prices for everything. And that's just going to drive people away. So I'm hitting the panic button on the NHL because of that $1 billion investment or loan, really, from who knows who, to stay afloat in a pandemic. I understand you're a multi-billion-dollar organization with, thousands upon thousands of professional athletes, coaches, trainers, prospects, you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. And you have to think about it like this too. They're not working inside of just the United States. They're in Canada. They're everywhere, really, because they send scouts all over the world to look at prospects.
Right.
And a lot of these teams have, I wouldn't say contracts, but affiliation with the NFL. And I mean, that just, if the NHL looks weak, how does that affect a worldview of the actual league, the teams, the players, all that kind of stuff? So, yeah, I think it's time to hit the panic button. I don't think it's time to jump ship, though.
Okay. I can support that. I mean, I think when you look at it, you're talking about what was at one point like a tier 4 league in America. You're talking about like a tier 3. Like if this was the same case for the MLB, I'd be fucking destroying the panic button. I'm shocked the MLB doesn't have to do that.
Well, right. Well, see the thing about the MLB is I don't fucking know where they're getting their money from. I mean, most of these like where's the money coming from? And I've thought about this a lot. I think a lot of it's old money. I think a lot of it is old money. A lot of people that are in baseball now, they want change. And these the owners, management, all that kind of stuff, they don't want change. They want to keep it how it is. And that's how they're going to end up losing a lot of their money. I mean, just look at, there's no salary cap, but I guarantee you that luxury tax gets lower and lower every year because of how much money they're losing and not being able to produce a sport or a product that's watchable at this point anymore.
No, they are hemorrhaging fans right now.
Yes, they really are. And I'm worried that the NHL is headed that way, not because of the product, but because I just don't think they've done a really good job with marketing and getting more fans. Like I would say, the sport with the most amount of casual watchers is most likely the sport that's going to do the market, and that's clearly football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Hockey is such a tough sport to market to most people because it's an expensive sport.
Right.
Like you don't really need much to start playing football. You need football and maybe a pair of cleats, and then you play. Hockey, you need pads, you need skates. If you're a goalie, fucking forget it. You better have like 10 grand lying around just to pay for all the training practice. You know what I mean? So it's tough. That's the way the sport is. The sport itself is never going to change. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm hitting the panic button, but I'm not worried about the sport itself. I'm only worried about what they're going to do moving forward with money, really.
That's fair.
But
also, $1 billion loan is a fat loan.
Yeah, it's no fucking joke. I mean, yeah, who knows? Maybe someone will buy out the NHL and make it like the XFL. Fucking stick check to the head, 3 points. All right.
Ooh.
James, I got a new segment for you. I'm throwing it down.
I have been intentionally leaving this out of screen, so I'm excited to see what this is.
I don't know what to call it yet. I'm gonna call it, all right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to BOTA's newest segment. Welcome to the Gauntlet. James, would you like to know what the Gauntlet is?
Yeah.
All right. The Gauntlet is lightning round questions only for James. And in the description, I have ADHD fun. All right.
I can see that part.
All right. So
if
you've ever seen those shows on like Sports Central or whatever, and they had the screen on the right, and there's topics that float down, and they have like 2 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like that, except you have 30 seconds to talk about each topic, and it's not necessarily all about sports.
All right, let's do it. I'm into it.
All right.
You dig in.
Let's start the clock, baby. All right. First question. Does Deshaun Watson stay a Texan?
For the upcoming season, yes, he's going to sit out, and then he's going to be traded in the next offseason.
Where does he go?
He goes to San Francisco. No question.
He goes to San Francisco. Okay. Love that answer. Next question. Does Russ stay a Seahawk?
Yes, 100%. There's no way they let Russ go. That would be a dumb move.
What about next year?
Yes, no way they let Russ walk. That's a dumb move.
All right. What about – no, I'm kidding. Is this new girl that Aaron Rodgers got engaged to finally the girl that's going to tame him and make him not make him a stag anymore?
I'm not really sure. I'm going to say no because she's still young and she's not into crystals.
Right, Shailene Woodley. I apologize that I didn't know her name, all right?
I saw a stat that she was in like 8th grade or something when he was getting drafted. It was weird. I didn't like it.
Yeah, bizarre. Anyway, so you're going with no. All right, cool.
No.
We'll see what Drew says about that. All right. Will JJ Watt complete the Watt trifecta and open a Subway in Pittsburgh?
No. Maybe to the Subway.
Okay,
Not
so
sure.
where do you think he goes?
I think he goes anywhere but the Packers. Please God, I'm going to go Browns or Patriots.
I don't see him going to the Patriots. Way too early Super Bowl prediction. Go.
Give me the Chiefs and the Seahawks.
Who wins?
I hate to say the Chiefs.
I actually choked on my own spit, but I could have thrown up at that. All right, James, you have 30 seconds on the clock. Name 5 hockey players. One of them has to be a goalie. None of them can be a Boston Bruin. Go.
Andre Vasilevsky. Is Matt Duval still in the league?
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
What?
Is Duval still in the league?
Who?
I don't know. Is that a player?
You got 20 seconds.
Kucherov.
There's 2.
Stammer.
There's 3.
Hedman. And
There's
Brayden
4.
Point.
All right, there's 5. All right. Next question. You don't have 30 seconds to name 5 hockey players, and none of them can be a Tampa Bay Lightning or Boston Bruin. Go.
All right. Is Corey Schneider retired?
No, he's still in the league. He plays for the league.
Corey Schneider.
No, sorry, Corey Schneider. Yeah, Corey Schneider's done.
Fuck.
25 seconds. No, you can't pass.
Taylor Hall.
Yes, there you go. There's one. Come on.
Wayne
Really?
Simmons.
What?
Wayne Simmons.
Okay, there's 2. 15 seconds.
Who's Mendoza? I don't know who that is, but I just heard it from the back.
I don't know. 10 seconds.
Oh, what the fuck? That's like after the Mighty Ducks. I don't know. I lose. Pass. Shaq.
Sidney
Shaq
Crosby,
on skate.
Alexander Ovechkin, Evgeny Malkin.
Oh yeah, dude.
Entertain.
Connor
McDavid.
Austin
Matthews. Yeah, there we go.
It's a lot harder when you're on the spot.
It's the pressure. The pressure that gets you. All right. Next question. What's my favorite color?
Green.
Yes. Finally. Cricket?
What is it? What do you do?
Yeah, what is it?
Okay, you basically do suicides after you hit a ball, but the person who's throwing the ball has to try to hit the sticks behind you, and you touch between sticks. If the bat's on the ground when you cross the line, you're safe. I think you get a point each time you cross the line.
Boom!
Cricket.
That was the gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
I could see James sitting on the edge of his seat while Megan was just slightly slipping her thumb.
Megan just kept giving me fucking Mighty Ducks players.
I know, I can hear it. Mendoza! What? Who's Mendoza? What?
Knucklepuck.
All right, we're gonna fucking end it here. James, I'm gonna slide it over to you, big boy. I signed us on. You signed us off. Let's do it.
Thank you all for joining us today on another amazing episode of the BOTA Show. I was joined by Zach. Zach started off. He's the host. He hosted it. We were here. We did it. We were with you. Hi. How are you?
I'm normal.
Thank you again to everyone. Thank you to, we don't have a sponsor, so thank you to them. You can find us everywhere at Apple Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts.
Sponsored by what? Water.
Sponsored by
it's everywhere.
Sponsored by
Earth.
Boulders.
You really dug deep for that one.
You can find us everywhere at BOTA Sports and follow us at Taping the Shaft and at Drunk and Disorderly Podcast. That's an N in the middle of Drunk and Disorderly and then pod, not podcast. I fucked up the name. I'm going to try that again. That's Drunk in Disorderly Pod.
Yes, it doesn't represent anything that's suspiciously New England-like at all.
Nothing at all. Stay tuned on our social media platforms for all of our off-season coverage. I've already been doing Draft Diamonds. We're going to be doing more stuff. It's going to be fucking smacking you in the face, you dirty little bitch. Spit on me.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it.
We went from NHL MLB to BDSM.
Yeah, baby, I love letters. All right, Zach, you want to say anything before we go?
No, I'm good.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? What to do, baby?
Here's the thing: is I know what's about to happen, and I know we're about to get in this like checkmate.
Well, here's the question. Well, okay. Let's settle this once and for all.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
They can stay beautiful, and they can also stay soggy. But you know what they can't stay?
Christy?
No, whatever the hell Yabo thing he does. All right. Well, is that it? We're
That's
done?
it. End the
Yay!
show. Have a
Woo!
great rest of your day.
All right.
You just ended YouTube.
I completely ended YouTube first. I never do that. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I didn't even say bye to YouTube. Bye,
All right.
YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Stay beautiful, stay soggy, beautiful, beautiful and soggy. Stay damn, bitch.